What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mic Check Podcast. This is T Word. I'm here with my co-host Q. Today, we're going to be talking about Haney versus Loma. We're going to give our quick prediction here, and we want to get you guys in the comments. We'll probably put a poll up as well. Figure out how everybody's leaning because this is a major fight at 135 pounds. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We certainly appreciate the feedback. All right, Q.
Yep.
We got a big one on deck today, man.
Absolutely.
This is 135-pound Supremacy, undisputed. This is the fight. This is the most important. It's not the most popular necessarily, but definitely the most important fight at 135 pounds. So let's talk about it. I'm going to throw it to you first.
Yeah, I think that this fight is about as close of a fight as can be made when you talk about people's opinions. I've seen a lot of different people's opinions be almost fairly split on this fight about who they're picking. And that just goes to show you that the matchmaking is really, really good, right? You have a guy who's going to try to be a pure boxer. He's going to try to stick everything on the outside when you talk about Devin Haney. But he'll need to show some willingness to fight on the inside because that's where Loma likes to stay. That's where Loma likes to work, especially because a lot of the guys that he's facing at 135 pounds typically have been bigger than him. So that's been the space that he has to get into in order to be successful, which is why he's had to rely on, footwork, a double or a triple jab to get on the inside, slipping and rolling punches off the side as well. So overall, it's a good fight. It's a really, really close matchup. But if I'm going to go ahead and call it as what I think will happen, I believe that this is a 7-5 type of fight, a fight that goes either way. I think it's going to be a lot of a disparity amongst boxing fans about who they think wins this fight, even after it's all been said and done. But I'm going to give the advantage at this point to Devin Haney. I'm going to pick Devin Haney by a split decision in a fight that's really, really close. I think that one judge may see it in Loma's favor, but I think that he will convince at least two of these judges that he was the victor. I'm going to pick him for a couple of reasons, but my main reason being that he's going to have a chance to rehydrate, and he will have had over a day and a half to rehydrate. And we saw how well he was able to perform when he didn't have that advantage in the last fight against George Kambosos, where a lot of people were concerned about his weight cut. I know that he's made comments saying that this was the best weight cut he's had, maybe because he was able to do things a little bit better with his diet to try to get himself down to that weight slowly, to where now he's had, almost a full day at this point. It's actually exactly a full day because they weighed in at 9 a.m. Yesterday morning. So he'll have another, pretty much another 12 hours really, because the fight probably won't start till about 9 o'clock our time anyway, here in Central Standard Time. I'm picking Devin Haney to win this fight because I think that he will negate some of the things that Loma likes to do when he gets on the inside by just tying up as the bigger guy. And I think that Devin will have had enough respect for Loma's power to not switch off, as you saw Comey did on the clinch on the inside in the Loma's fight against Comey. And I don't think that Devin will have as much of a dissipation in his energy reserves like Jermaine Ortiz did, because if you look at the Jermaine Ortiz fight, he was winning that fight through 8 rounds, and he got swept in the last 4 rounds, and that's really what turned the tide into Loma's favor. And I think that Jermaine Ortiz, has some similarities to Devin Haney, while necessarily not being exactly like him. I think they do have some similarities. So I think Devin can take some things from that matchup. And I think he will be successful tonight with a split decision victory.
Yeah, for the most part, I've been in different chats, other people's videos, etc., on Twitter, trying to not tip my hand. Actually, we did a live 2 weeks ago, and a few people jumped on, and we talked about this fight, and they were trying to convince me that Loma had a better chance than I giving them credit for. So at one point, immediately following the Ortiz fight, I had an 80-20 Haney, and I was firm. Now, several months have gone by since then. Loma's returned. Obviously, you see them in training camp, all these different things. The blood, sweat, and tears episodes are coming out. So I've had a chance to see what Loma looks like physically, what he was moving like, and he does look better. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm calling it now. Devin Haney's about to kick Loma's ass. I don't see this as a closer fight as people have been trying to convince me that it is. It's not. Devin Haney has youth on his side. Devin Haney is an elite boxer. And I believe that combination of things is going to be too much for Loma. And the only thing that can make this fight close is corruption on the cards and potentially Devin Haney fading at the end because the emotions of the moment might get the best of him. That is the only thing. Now, here's why I say that. I do believe that there's going to be some magic card, at least one. So I agree with you that it'll be a split decision. But the optics for the fans that are watching, you're about to see a Devin Haney masterclass. This is his arrival moment. He's going to be that guy at 135 in terms of legacy. He might not be the money guy, but he's going to be the legacy fight where it's going to make it more appealing for him and Tank to get in the ring. And I say that because I believe that Devin's going to use his jab to control the fight. He's not going to fight the prettiest fight in terms of aesthetics, but you're going to know that Loma's frustrated. You're going to know that he's having a hard time cracking the code of Devin Haney. The people in his corner are preparing Devin for the fight of his life. I know that we saw a ceremonial weigh-in, so Devin had already begun to rehydrate. I believe it was almost 4 or 5 in the afternoon by the time they stepped on the scale on video. So what he might have looked like at 9 a.m., maybe a little hollowed out, he looked like he was in good shape. Like you said, a good weight cut. So I don't think he's going to be drained. I don't think his body's going to betray him. And as long as he has the reserves to fight late in the fight and he doesn't fade, as people have tried to tell me, Devin Haney going to beat Loma ass today. But that's my prediction. But I do agree split decision because one judge is going to favor Loma no matter what. At least one judge is going to have it 7-5 in favor of Loma. The rest of the cards are going to be decidedly in favor of Devin Haney because he's about to put on a masterclass. He's going to make this thing look a little bit easy. That's my personal prediction. I don't see the Loma that was dominant in other weight classes showing up tonight against this version of Devin Haney. The 2023 version of these guys, I believe Devin Haney is miles ahead of Loma at this point. I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Yeah, I think that you make some strong points there. I think the one part that I guess has given me trepidation to go to the lengths of picking Haney in the way that you have at this point, for me personally, is just the fact that I haven't seen Devin in with another pure boxer, right? Loma is a pressure guy at 135 because he has to be in order to be successful and get his work off. But all in all, if all things are equal, if size is equal, if length is equal, if he's at a weight class that he prefers to be at, when you talk about Loma, he's a pure boxer. And that's the one thing that kind of has given me some trepidation, is because I haven't seen Devin in those positions. And that's the only reason why I'm thinking, well, maybe Loma, because of his mistakes in previous fights of starting slow, will start a little bit faster. Maybe it looks aesthetically like he's winning or tipping a couple of the early rounds while Devin is still trying to figure out how he should attack Loma. But I'm definitely in agreement with you. I think that Devin Haney has a real chance to win this fight. I think this fight favors him at this point. But one question I would have for you, outside of fading, do you think that there's any other reasons why, if Devin Haney was to lose this fight, what do you think the reason would be? Is there any other reason other than fatigue?
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be because the judges who are watching this fight, they don't like to see clinching. They don't like to see the stab, jab, and grab. They don't like to see that method in the clinch and turn. If they have a preference against that style, then that's going to favor Loma anyway. Even though Devin's not doing anything wrong, it's just the judge's preference is going to overrule actual boxing scoring criteria, and that's what's going to put him in a position where he could potentially lose. That's the only way I see. Because I just don't think, if he's able to fight well throughout the entire, just continue to do what he wants to do from round 1 through 12, because I don't see a knockout, then that's what I think it's going to be. It would have to be something funny with the judges just having a style preference. To me, that's not corruption. That's just a preference. Sometimes you get judges that want to see 50-50s and they judge too much movement in a negative way. So it just depends on the judges and what they think about his style of boxing. But so far, 2 times against Kambosos in championship fights, they've been okay with it, and they've shown it on the scorecards. And I believe that we'll see that same consistency tonight. And again, I'm picking Devin that way. If Loma does start fast, I think that might actually hurt him. If he starts too fast, he is older. He may be in great shape, but it's very possible that could turn into a negative thing where he fades late in the fight, and you don't want Devin being consistent for 12 and you're fading in round 8. So, that could really change the dynamics of my prediction, and that could lead to a knockout. But that's not my prediction. I'm predicting a split decision just like you. I just think it's going to be dominant on 2 cards, where it sounds like you have it a bit closer.
Yeah, definitely. And I think ultimately, because of the favoritism towards Loma, because Loma is the long-standing champion with Top Rank, obviously he's still, both guys are in-house, so to speak. But we all know that, Loma is the more invested guy with Top Rank. He's not the guy that's rumored to possibly leave Top Rank after this fight anyway. So, there will be some favoritism given to him that could be unwarranted in this fight. Ultimately, if Devin wins this fight, he's very, very likely on my pound for pound list to move up at least to number 6. I have him at 10 or 9 right now. I can't remember the last place I had him. I think it was 10 or 9. I probably should have put him at 9 before, above Josh Taylor. But if he wins this fight, he's going into my top 6 easy.
Yeah, I'll probably put him in my top 5. He's been in my top 10 for a minute. When he won Undisputed, I had him like right outside of the top 10. Once he defended Undisputed in blowout fashion, I put him into the top 10, just outside the top 5. He's definitely going to move into the top 5 because I think it's a signature win. I still don't hold Loma in that high of an esteem right now just because of what he did 5 years ago. But I do believe that he's still a formidable enough of a foe for it to register and move him into the top 5 as a 2-time undisputed, defending the undisputed. So I think that's worthy of being in the top 5. And, I've got guys like Errol outside the top 5 right now because you ain't fighting. So right. I have to put Haney up there for activity and defenses. So, guys, we're going to leave it right there. We'd love to get your comments. We'd love to get your thoughts. I had to see him on the scales to figure it out. So we saved this to the last minute. So y'all give us your feedback. Don't forget to hit that poll, which will be dropping right after the video. This has been T, that's Q. Until the next time, we're out. Peace.